curve arrow signs as Yamashita treasure markers, Part 4. Here is the final video about the arrow signs series. But if there are still many questions on the comments that require detailed explanation, then this might be the 5th part series of this discussion. In this Part 4 series, we are going to cover the type of arrow signs that consists of curved bodies. You have to know that when it comes to arrow signs, it is very important that you should carefully analyze the shapes of their bodies. It's because their bodies express as important details about their meanings. As the first arrow sign featured in this video, we have here a marker that consists of an arrow sign that is slightly pointing at a downward direction. Its body is slightly curved as well. What this marker means is that the item is hidden at the water area. So if this is the type of marker that you found on your site, you have to follow its direction towards the nearest water area on your site. This area can be an old creek or river. In most cases, if you found the area, there are additional markers as confirmation that you found the correct site. Here is an arrow sign indicating that the treasure deposit is hidden at the side of an old creek. If you notice its body, it is a curve shape. This is actually symbolizing the curve-shaped portion of the old creek. It's because at this part of the old creek, this is where the item is hidden. In this illustration, you will notice that the arrow sign consists of a wavy line body. This means that you simply need to follow the direction being pointed by its arrowhead, in a straight direction. As an additional symbol to this marker, is something similar like the letter G. This symbol represents that the direction being pointed by the arrow sign, is the portion where the item is hidden. Just like what you are seeing in this illustration, the marker consists of an arrow sign, where they are pointing in the same direction. We can compare it to flowing water because, what it actually means is that, the treasure deposit is hidden at an old creek. As you can see, this marker is composed of two arrow signs where they form an X. But, pay more attention to the directions of their arrowheads, where they are pointing in upward directions. What it means is that you still need to travel a far distance. This arrow sign marker indicates that the location of the hidden treasure deposit is at an old waterfall. The symbol at the bottom of this marker represents the falling water of the waterfall. Many of you have already encountered this type of arrow sign marker, where you have described it as something similar to the letter Y symbol. But a more accurate feature of this marker actually looks like this, as shown here in this illustration. When it comes to its meaning, this marker indicates a certain old creek that has a Y shape. At the portion where the flowing water intersects or branches out into two different directions, this is the portion where the item is hidden. The dot at the symbol symbolized the treasure deposit. If you encountered this type of arrow sign in your own site, then what it means is that you still have a long way to travel. Studying it closely, you will notice that its arrowhead is incomplete. Anyway, what if the arrow sign is pointing at a downward direction? If it is pointing at a downward direction, then its meaning is the opposite, which means that you are pretty close to the location of the treasure deposit. What if the arrowhead of the marker is complete, which is similar to what is shown in this illustration? It actually means that you need to follow the direction going in an upward direction, or climb on the top portion of a certain place. In most cases, this marker is often used by the Japanese Imperial Army soldiers to indicate treasure deposits that they had hidden on top of the mountains. How about when this marker is pointing at a downward direction? If this marker is pointing downward, then it means that the treasure deposit is buried at the bottom portion of that site. As an example, if you found this arrow sign on top of the mountain, then it means that the treasure deposit is hidden somewhere around the foot of the mountain. This arrow sign indicates that the treasure deposit is hidden inside a certain cave. If you are going to follow its direction, you should be able to find the entrance, which can be a portion of the cave's walling or flooring. The symbol at the back portion of this marker symbolizes the hidden cave. If the previous marker indicates treasure deposit inside a cave, this one is the tunnel version. Studying this marker closely, you will notice the difference between the cave version, where the arrowhead of this one is incomplete. And for the final arrow sign marker in this video, we have here an arrow sign indicating a change of direction. Let's say for example that you have uncovered this sign under the ground, engraved on the surface of a rock. It means that you need to change your direction, by following the new direction being pointed by this marker's arrowhead.